I'm going to record this lesson for the people who are not here, and if you need any help in the future, and also for our legacy. Infinite. So we're going to deploy our app with DigitalOcean. And I had a bunch of questions because I'm supposed to deploy it with Heroku. And have nothing necessarily against Heroku, but Heroku is not real deployment. They take away a lot of concerns. So it's a lot easier, but you also don't really know how web servers work. And the nice thing about virtual private servers is that you are in complete control over something that feels and works like a real server. So the skills you learn there are transferable to other situations. Heroku skills are only valid in a Heroku world. Right? Another concern that didn't turn out to be really true is that in Heroku you need a credit card. Turns out DigitalOcean you also need a credit card or PayPal. So we have a little bit more options. Right. So, but the main advantage is that you learn a lot more with deploying with Heroku. And you can do a lot with it. Oh yeah, DigitalOcean. Sorry, thank you. So this is going to be a walkthrough. Try to code along, but in case not all the steps are also described here. And you can use this video to try to understand what you could not understand by reading the manual. Right? So you have instructions right here. You have the video later on, so you don't need to panic when you cannot catch up. Right? So we're going to do multiple things. Create a DigitalOcean account. Well, that's not really difficult. Right? Create a virtual private server with DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean calls them droplets. Connect to the VPS in the terminal with SSH. You already set up your SSH keys for GitHub. This works the same. In case you didn't, I'm not going to discuss it again, but I did include a link how to set up your SSH keys. Then we need to set up our server. We need to install Node.js and MongoDB. The same way we did when we set up our own machine. But now this virtual private server is using Linux. Then we need to get our project that you're hosting somewhere on the GitHub repository. All right? And then enjoy the beauty. So
you also get like call your domain also?
Yeah, so what is not included in these steps, I will, later point in time, I will include some extra resources on how to also set up your domain. Hosting and domain names are different things that most often you use together. Right? But right now, we can only access our server by using the direct IP address. And the domain name is nothing more than a name that is readable to us humans. That translates to an IP address. Sort of domain name, sort of like a variable in that sense. Right? All right, so sign up for DigitalOcean via this link. It gives you a $100 discount. Also, I profit from it in the future. But it's a referral link, so it's a short disclaimer. All right, I already have an account. I can just log in. This is the what? Right, so DigitalOcean calls virtual private servers droplets. create a droplet. Boom. All right, so here we can set our droplet up. Ubuntu is a flavor of Linux. It's a distribution. We're going to keep it. Also, in the future, you can use one-click apps. So maybe you would like to have a WordPress server, and you don't need to install WordPress on your server. Also, there's Node.js, but we are going to choose a bare distribution that only has Linux on it. And then we're going to install all the software ourselves. And with the software, I mean Node.js and MongoDB. Yeah, you understand more what you're doing. And also, in my experience, they install some weird version of Node.js that also needs some setup. And that setup is more difficult than installing it from scratch. All right. So select Ubuntu, and we're not going to go for the $40 plan. For the projects, we are going to use the $5 plan. It's more than enough. They charge per minute. They don't charge per month or per hour. You don't need that. You don't need this yet. We're in Amsterdam. All right. Doesn't matter that much if you're going to select something else, but your server will respond not as fast. DigitalOcean is, I think it's American. But Amsterdam is a major internet hub. Yeah, small country, big hub. It's pretty near here in Amsterdam Zuidoost. It's a major European hub called Equinix. I used to work there as a security guard. Yeah. All right, so this is the most difficult part, adding your SSH keys. All right. When you click on it, you get this box. Yeah, it should. So it's sort of a warning, because what you don't want to put in here are your private keys. I'm not going over the difference between private and public keys again, but you could see public keys more as a lock and private keys as the key. So it's safe to give away somebody your lock, but not the key. So how do we get this? I'm assuming you already set up your SSH keys. In case you didn't, follow these steps, right? So I'm going to use this command in my terminal. Clear. This is my public key. And I'm streaming this on YouTube, and I'm pretty comfortable with sharing this to everybody, because I'm only sharing a lock. You never want to share your private key. So if somebody's asking for your private key, that person is phishing. Basically gives the person complete control over your computer. Right? So don't do that. This is pretty safe. So copy paste this, starting from SSH until your email address. Right. Put it in here. You can name it whatever, but use a name that identifies this computer. Maybe you have 5 computers, a personal computer, a work computer, something else. And all those computers need to be able to access the VPS. I'm going to call this Iron Hack Mac. This has to be exactly the output. This can be whatever, right? I'm adding it. Also, to explain this command a little bit, I don't like just copy pasting without understanding what you do. So cat is basically print out this file to the terminal. That's all it does. This is a shortcut to your home directory. It's tilde. But SSH is a directory, and this is your public key, right? And the result is your public key in your terminal. You can create. DigitalOcean is creating the droplet. or VPS. We need some time. All right, so it's finished. All right, pretty quick. It installs a whole operating system somewhere within like less than a minute. And you have this number right here. What does it look like? IP address. Copy the IP address. They made it easy for you. You only have to click on it, and it's copied to your clipboard. You can also select it and then copy it. All right. Select and then copy it, but if you click on it, it's already copied. All right. Now the magic begins. SSH root, so root user, at IP address. Say yes. Now I'm inside the VPS. So this is not my own computer anymore. It's just a terminal or a window to another computer. Yeah. See, this is a file structure of that computer. I have complete control over it. All right.
Personalized, or is this everybody sees the same stuff?
From the beginning, yeah. So I installed Linux distribution, Ubuntu, and it's just the default settings. But if I make a directory here, all right, I only have this directory on my VPS. Yeah? So this is what looks and feels like it's completely my own computer. In reality, there's some big machine, and it's just divided up in chunks. So it's a real machine that's divided up in multiple virtual private servers, because servers are really expensive, right? Really good server that's thousands of euros. They don't let you rent that for only $5 a month. It's also not necessary to have that monster of a machine for our, well, small apps. All right, so now we have complete control over a virtual computer. So let's see where we are. All right, so we did this. All right, never share your private key. We're already connected to the VPS. We're already in step 4. Now we're going to install Node.js and MongoDB on the server. Linux has its own package manager. Think of a package manager as npm for an operating system. Mac, most popular package manager is Brew. Head of Linux is Aptitude, and the shortcut's apt. Curl is a terminal-based browser. Sounds really stupid, right? But basically will get us anything that is hosted under this web address. And so when I copy paste this command, I will get Node.js because it's at this location. To show you, these are some instructions to. But sorry, Google. Where from? I think I got from the official website of Node, from DigitalOcean itself. Yeah, I can answer the question later. But yeah, you have to know a little bit what you're looking for. But I think I got it from DigitalOcean tutorial. It's also a plus of DigitalOcean that they have lots of great tutorials to walk you through it. There are other ways as well, but I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, and I can tell you a little bit more about how the package manager of Linux is working later on for someone to follow these steps. So if you copy paste this, we'll download Node.js for you. All right. So you're all in Linux right now. This is Linux. All right. You're just accessing a Linux computer via your own operating system, but you're all in the same environment right now. All right, and now we only downloaded Node.js, so you have to install it. Installing it. Da-da-da. All right, it's already done. I want to verify that everything went correctly. Yeah, I'm asking Node what kind of version are you, and it's responding. That means Node is there. Otherwise, it would have told me that Node doesn't exist. Node is installed, and now we're going to install MongoDB. So this is using the package manager of Linux again, and it already knows about MongoDB, so we don't need to download it first. So it's saying yes to everything. So if we're going to install MongoDB without this yes flag, it will ask us, do you agree? Do you want this setting? Do you want the default setting? Yes. Stop bothering us. We just want to install the thing. Yeah. sudo means super user do. Like I'm in charge. It's like running things with admin privileges on Windows. It's saying I'm the administrator, and install is pretty clear, right? Yes to everything, and this is what we want to install. Click on it. See, it's not asking us for anything. But also with npm, where you do npm init, without the -y, it will ask you every little thing. What kind of name you want to choose for this app? What kind of version is it? All right, so now it's installed. All right. So we have Node.js and MongoDB installed within. Now, how long does this run? Let's see. All right. Never mind. We're within 10 minutes, I think. Now we also want to verify that MongoDB was installed. Yeah, so it's responding. That means it's installed. All right. Let's see if we can get into Mongo itself. All right. So now we get an error, and warning. All right. It's also what you want to check, and I listed on our things that might go wrong. Is that you can install Mongo, but it still has to run as well as a background process. Right? So in case it will tell you unable to connect or something, check that MongoDB indeed is running. You can check that. We'll update this with a command that can check if MongoDB is running. This command, status MongoDB. MongoDB. Yeah. So this stands for system control. I'm asking for the status of a program. Which program? MongoDB. And it says it's running. Right. So all good. So we're almost there already. Pull your project into the VPS using Git and GitHub and run it. All right. So right now we have control of the computer as we're used to with all the software that's installed that we're used to, and we know Node.js and MongoDB. So this is, you can almost use this as a normal terminal, as your own terminal. So everything you do from here shouldn't be much different as what you're used to. All right. The only thing that's missing is our project. All right. If only there was some kind of tool with which we can share code we all learn to hate and love. All right, GitHub, right? And Git becomes it's pre-installed on Linux, right? So Git. Let's GitHub a version. Yeah, Git is installed. I prepared a little, very small project that we can pull easily. Not this. Which project is it? I think it's a library project. Library app. 8 days ago. Pretty sure it's this project. Clone or download. All right, so I'm copying this link. Right now, I am in the root directory. So this is the mother of all directories. You want to go to your user directory. Shortcut is tilde. They print working directory. You see it's, and there's only one user, that's root. Right now, I'm in the user directory of root. Maybe make a directory called programming. Programming, git clone, and then the GitHub repository.
Did you do this on root?
No, so this is the root directory. It said cd tilde. Tilde is a shortcut for the home directory. Yeah, and in that directory, I made a directory called programming. I went into the directory, and then I cloned the project. I'm inserted in the directory.
With this git at github.com. Why is that? Mostly it's like a thing. Oh.
Yeah, so I was using the SSH reference to the repository, and through an error because I didn't set up GitHub with the SSH keys of my virtual private server. I can, but I'm just going to use normal link. It's done. Right now, the app is on my VPS. Right here, npm install. All right, let's run it. This will not work. For a reason I will explain later. If you go to DigitalOcean, you have this IP address, right? This IP address is the location of our VPS. It's also the location of the server that's running our project. So this should work. This should work. It will not work, but this I'm expecting here our website, and it doesn't work because by default our project is still listening on port 3000. Right? We only use that for development purposes. And by default, computers do not accept any connections on port 3000. So most ports are always blocked for security reasons. A couple of them are open by default, and one of them is port 80. Port 80 is the default port for web servers that are in production. So if you go to, for example, google.com, it's actually saying it's google.com port 80. Or 443, that is the HTTPS version. All right. It also give me Google. This, it's probably, it's trying to connect right now. See, will not connect because it's not hosted on port 3000. It's hosted on port 80. So we need to change is we have to make this app listen to port 80 instead of 3000. The right way to do is with environment variables or a config file, the way I taught you. But there's also a quick and dirty way that, for sake of simplicity, I will do right now. And then you can figure out later how to set it up the proper way. There is a terminal-based program. It's called Nano. Nano is a very simple text editor. Sudo Nano. Let's see, what's this? Yeah. Sudo Nano bin www. It's a project I set up with Express Generator. And right here, we're setting up the port here. Now I'm saying I'm hard coding port 80. This is not good practice for multiple reasons. First, it's tedious and it's messy. Second of all, if you update your code and you pull your newest code again, it will overwrite this. Or you get a merge conflict. All right, that's why this is messy.
Don't say this word.
Merge conflict. Yeah, so apps generated with Express Generator will put the root JavaScript file in bin www. But your project might look different. You want to open up the file that sets your port. Right, there are instructions here how to exit this. So it's not like Vim. It's not like Vim. Vim is terrible to get out of. Somebody. We're programmers. We don't like light. Unless it comes from our screen. Right. If you press Ctrl X, you exit it. It will save if we'll ask you if you want to save it or not. Yes, we do. All right. Bin www. I was listening on port number 80. Let's see, I want to go back to still can be reached. What went wrong? Yeah, this guy. That doesn't matter that much. I don't think it will make a difference. See? It works. So this is the app. Very simple app that I made. And if you go to this IP address, you all see the same. Please don't try to break it. It's precious. So please go to this link and see it for yourselves. My app, my beautiful app. All right. So you can create new books, title. I don't have authors yet. Well, yeah. What? It works exactly the same as the projects you're hosting on your local machine. Only thing is, it's not being hosted on your local machine anymore. It has to listen to port number 80. No, no, no. So one more trick, and then this. All right, so we did all this. Enjoy the beauty. Well, this is the beauty, yeah, and we're enjoying it. There's one problem. If I close this, I close the session, and my app will stop working. All right? You have to run it into the background. To run it in the background, stop it first. Then say background, and then say 1. This means it's running in the background. It means I can hopefully close it. It will still be there. Don't mess with my app. I guess it's very easy to break, right? Some script injection failed. All right, taka. Wait a sec. So another way, bringing it back to the foreground again. Jobs. Oh, this is a completely other. Right. So now this is my own terminal. All right. So I close the terminal. Close the session. That's a 8 session. It gives me back the control to my own terminal. So right now I'm back into my own computer. Let's go back to the VPS. Oh, of course not HTTP. Just the IP address. I'm in again. Should be. This is this server still running. Right now I cannot find the process anymore. Linux show all should be that. Yeah, top. This is like Control Delete, right? Task Manager or Monitor, Activity Monitor on macOS. This is your terminal-based Activity Monitor. Right, you see. Let's see, MongoDB with this yeah, your process ID. And if you say kill, then this process ID, you terminate the process. Pretty good, kill. Also, you can kill child processes, and then you have to use kill child. Like it's, it's pretty morbid. Cannot find node right now. So if I say kill 3188, 3188. Kill it. Oh, it's still working. Am I even in? All right. Sort of over anyways. Right? We set it up. If you want to keep it running, you have to run it into the background. I want to round this up, so I'm not going to figure out why I cannot see it right now. I will. I owe you an answer for later. I mentioned some extras in the tutorial, namely how to do it the proper way. You can use a file manager like FileZilla. And you can drag and drop your config file from your own machine to the virtual private server. But you have to read it yourself. Right? But they explain it pretty well. How to manage your firewalls. So right now, what if I want to connect to my MongoDB server using Compass? Right? So a question you might have, can I use Compass with my virtual private server? But it's also hosting a database. Yes, you can, but you have to set some firewall settings. You have to open up this port, and you have to change some settings in the MongoDB server on your virtual private server. There's some excellent material over here. It's very lame. It's called Google, right? Help yourself. So Node.js is a web server, but it's more of an application server that in most production cases runs behind one of the more popular web servers. And two of the most popular web servers that are also open source are Apache and Nginx. I don't think you have enough time to get into that during this course, and do not expect it at all, but it might be nice to know if you I like servers, I like DevOps, I want to know more. Try to install Apache and Nginx. It's nice to know. And things that might go wrong. If you follow this tutorial step by step and something goes wrong, check these things. Now, Apache is open source. You install Apache on your VPS. And if you want to host more than one project on the same port, you have to use something like Apache or Nginx. Any questions? No? No? Beer? Yeah, I already served beer, huh? I will also share the link of this this instruction video. Woo! I'm personal to you.